Cool, yes. So, young Nicholas is Schlort, so per discussions, we will be replacing him as the Khajiit pack animal with a horse who, instead of a nose, just has a sweaty human face.
Kill it.
God.
I don't think I won't kill that.
It's not gently screaming, but I guess it is fully functional. So if the horse neighs, then presumably the sweaty human face will also neigh.
And you see that his tongue is a horse head. The chain continues.
Oh God. I'm stirring too deeply.
Oh, I'll kill it.
Well, you might have problems with that in a second anyway. So, let's have the reminders from last session. The first of which is, the guards of Dragon's Reach have just been called on Catclop for being a Sabretooth, which in this case is, the guards of Dragon's Reach have just been called on... Oh god, what's it called? Oh, Dio, yeah, right. Have just been called on Dio for being, I guess, an abomination.
Being a crime against the gods.
I mean, so long as it dies, it's not a problem for me.
When alteration spells go wrong. Yuhnbric wants a quest from the Jarl at Dragon's Reach so that he can afford to make things at the Skyforge. The group really needs to ask about their lost cart. Arnaulf and Revere need to go back to the Companions for their intro quest tomorrow. Creed spent 20 septims on cheese, or more accurately, Dio spent 20 septims on cheese. And Creed simply wasted half of it out of catness. Yorland... Yes, it's currently rotting on the ground outside. Yorland likes Yuhnbric, and young Nicholas really wants to make money via a petting zoo, which I guess translates to the horse, which wants to be touched.
Pet the face nose horse.
Just imagine the horse coming up with a real pervy look in his face. Come touch my boys!
Okay, the horse does not speak Imperial.
It's got that look in its eye.
Further
Speaks
from that,
Neodric.
God damn it. And further from that, it speaks horse. That's even with its human mouth. I guess they both speak at the same time.
Just the horse comes up, nay.
But it would also neigh underneath that, which is really disconcerting.
Look, it's gonna die one way or another.
What was I going to say? And per the goddamn rules we established with OG Catclop, the horse does not want to be touched sexually. It just wants to be scritched. Something which it is presumably denied because it is horrifying.
I just want love, screamed neighed. The human horse. Why won't anyone touch me?
Because you were I.
Just neighing and screaming and probably shitting everywhere as well.
So yes, you have just barged in, or like quietly stepped in actually, through the open gates to Dragon's Reach, into the mighty central hall where Jarl Balgruuf is already holding court. And as you've sort of walked in, your horse has mindlessly followed you and immediately alarmed everyone who think that, yeah, no, there is a Deirdre in the castle! Guards rush towards.
Deirdre's in the castle?
Before we act on this, what is this in actual in-game concept? This horse creature, is it just a weird mutant horse?
There is nothing in the law that explains this.
It is a horse that is...
The lawmaster has decreed it is wrong, thus it must burn.
It's the victim of an alteration spell gone permanently wrong, and thus you picked it up at a discount.
It is a monster, it must die!
Otherwise a perfectly ordinary and lovable horse, if a bit BOE, which it's a horse, so they're always BOE actually, I guess.
It must die!
So yeah, there you go. The only real downside, apart from it looking intensely creepy, is the sweat on the human face.
Of course.
But it's a horse, so it has a very strong smell.
Well, I will jump on top of Jomo's head, ready to make an announcement, unless a party member says something before I decree something. Yeah, this is your chance, boys.
I think at this point you're all very familiar with Zan'zharim Zahir's announcement pose. He kind of
my posturing.
Yeah, he goes into a firm, like a seated Egyptian cat statue thing. He leaps atop a high point, goes straight with his arse flat down, head craned up like he's ready to announce to everyone which he is, and then boom, the telepathic spam. Yes. So, I'll do. Anyone else?
Sort of take a step away from everyone else.
Adrian Castle.
Alright then. Zan'zharim Zahir would appreciate it if you did not capture my poor horse.
To capture it.
The guards kind of skid to a halt from where they were rushing towards the Deirdre. What magic is this? The monster speaks in my head.
It is Zan'zharim Zahir who speaks, mighty Alfiq of the Khajiit. And that cheap horse is simply an experiment gone wrong.
The guards kind of look at Jomo and then up at the cat on top. Sort of very...
I look at them with, like, killer eyes.
Is that Khajiit? Is that a Khajiit? Is that a house cat speaking in my head? Says the one foremost. To Revere, to Jomo.
This is not just house cat, this mighty priest!
It's a fucking house cat, mate! It's...
Priest!
Deirdre!
Priest!
Zan'zharim Zahir would appreciate it if everyone calmed down.
I'm not with them, I just walked in with them.
It's mass chaos outside in the Cloud District. Everyone within 300 meters, including, I guess, the guy at the cheese stall, is getting spammed and confused. Yeah, at the very end of the hall, Balgruuf holds up a hand as he lazily reclines in his chair. Guards. Down. You. Cat monster.
Meow.
Can you speak regularly?
I shake my head in.
He kind of peeks from the opposite end of the hall, but it's really difficult to see if a cat is shaking its head at that distance.
I would like to kind of bow from the shoulders while keeping my head level so that Zan'zharim doesn't, shake about at all. This one can translate.
Exotic travelers, you may approach. Guards, down. Leave the horse outside.
Nay.
It's going to sound like young Nicholas, though, so...
Yay!
I guess he did... Yeah, he has just been portraying Caclop as having a ludicrously deep voice when he speaks, so sure, yeah. Nay.
Nay. Manady.
I would like to slowly shuffle forwards and try and keep my senses attuned to hear for my companions. Because I do not want to be advancing alone.
Fair. Well, let's double check with the rest of them then. Team Nordic, are you going along with Jomo as he carefully walks toward, or nervously rather, walks towards the throne?
Nope, I'm hanging back.
Okay. So it's just you, Jomo. The rest of them are very conspicuously, taking a step apart. There are a couple of guards trying to encourage the horse to leave the hall without touching it.
Why are the Khajiit approaching? This wasn't our objective, I'm sure. We can ask about the cart, though.
Only objective.
I mean, are you actually going up then, Carl? Because I think you said you didn't want to go up by yourself.
I mean, ultimately, I don't actually know why we're here. I just know that we are here.
Asking about the cart, I guess. Though starting off with the Jarl is a bit extreme. Have you heard any rumours lately? Maneuvers go.
Because we came to see the mage, didn't we?
Farengar Secret Fire. Well, you and Ollie did.
Yeah.
But you're kind of very awkwardly and badly trying to pretend that you don't know these guys, even though you very transparently came into the hall at the same time as them.
Someone else. We didn't come to see the Jarl specifically.
I mean, fair. So you're just gonna quietly try and slink off to the side then?
Sure.
The first couple of syllables of everything you say is cutting out, Benji. So I didn't actually hear what the response there was because it was quite short, I suspect.
Yes, we are trying to avoid the Jarl and just sneak off to one side.
We're just going to pretend that we're not with them.
You know what?
Not our problem.
What do we got? Is it subterfuge? So you all have a little internal glance of let's not be with them. And then I think it is subterfuge. So I'll take subterfuge over personality from one of the three of you. Whoever's highest can roll.
I got 41.
I'm not
I think that's higher than me.
Well, I guess it's me then.
As Revere confidently strides off to the side. Let's see how well that goes.
Skyrim is for the Nords.
Hey, finger guns. Yeah, so 1 degree of failure. The Jarl sort of eyes the three of you, but even as he's sort of umming and ahhing for a second in should I restrain these clearly spy-looking individuals as they badly try to slink away from my sight? You know what? He seems to say. Not really worth the effort, and if they're spies, they're obviously incredibly bad ones. So he simply gestures at a nearby guard to follow the three of you as you make your way into one of the side rooms, or side corridors, I guess.
Superiority through inferiority. This is how we become excellent spies. Everyone assumes we're terrible and we're innocent. It's fine, just let them be shit.
I mean, if you can pull it off. I mean, you would have to be... I guess you wouldn't have to be spying for someone first, to be fair. You could just find intelligence on Whiterun and then shop around various people.
Oh yeah, we could be all mercenary.
Yes. Well, I mean, we have established that Arnaulf doesn't actually like anyone involved in Skyrim at the moment. Neutral, Imperial, or Stormcloak. He's anti all established governments. I guess we haven't specifically concluded he doesn't like the dragon cult yet, but it's inferred.
I mean...
Safe assumption. It's a safe assumption.
Be a bit of a plot twist.
They're pretty much dicks.
Arnaulf, secret dragon cultist. He's hurt and confused as to why Alduin attacked him as his only loyal servant in the modern day.
How else do you think I got the Thum?
I mean, bit of a backstory change, but it would be an interesting one.
No, I'm not a dragon cultist.
It'd be like fucking sixth house mods for Morrowind. We're going to do the Skyrim plotline, but side with Alduin. Okay. So in that case, Jomo, you're walking up towards the Jarl. The hall is grand and long, and it feels achingly long. All eyes are on you in this fairly quiet setting, with only the awkward sounds of your so-called friends quietly tottering out of the room, leaving you alone, other than Zan'zharim. And the vague, discomforted neigh, Winnie, of Dio the horse being quietly shooed outside. You climb the steps up to Balgruuf, who, for all that he's wearing I guess a Nordic circlet, but not quite a crown of office type of a situation, and dressed in extremely fine fabrics and furs, seems kind of interested and a little bit approachable as you walk up to him. So, Master Khajiit, fairly rare that I get to speak to you. You're typically not allowed within my city walls. But, am I to take from your travelling companion that I am being visited by a dignitary here?
How do I respond?
Yes. Yes, your cart was stolen in a misfortunate incident.
Yeah, it was like, so a deep bow, again, keeping head as level as possible so as not to ruffle Zan'zharim. It's
I
like,
do an incredibly shallow head bow.
of course, my lord Jarl. I am here with the representative of our great priests to bid welcome and to seek our lost property, stolen by the cowardly fools from southern lands. And say hi.
Eyes you a little bit nervously. Interesting. Now, you are aware that Whiterun is neutral in this conflict, yes? I'll listen to what you have to say fairly, but I am siding neither with nor against the Empire. I wish only to be left alone.
We get a really quiet, what? From the back.
Just as you leave the room, Revere sort of stops at the front, and there's almost like Three Stooges-esque pile-up, as Revere, who's in front, is gently slammed into by Arnaulf, is gently slammed into by Yuhnbric, is gently slammed into by the guard who was tasked to tail the three of you.
What, just me and fucking Yuhnbric throwing a hand over his mouth and dragging him out the room quickly? It's like, shut up!
Forward, yeah. Fair. Jomo, what do?
This one appreciates the Lord Jarl's neutrality. However, we do not wish to draw any conflicts. It is merely with one individual that we have umbrage.
He visibly untenses at that. Now that sounds much more reasonable. What can I do for you, Master Priest? He kind of flicks between the two of you.
Yeah.
I would like to, at this point, pick up Zan'zharim from my head and kind of hold him in the crook of my arm, almost baby-like.
Oh.
This here is one of our great priests. It is indeed an honor for him to travel outside of our majestic lands to see the world and those who are among it. Unfortunately, along our travels, cart and all our belongings were taken. We only wish to return what is ours, so that we may go home complete.
Bandits, you say? Terrible business. Well, we can't have visiting dignitaries getting mugged in Whiterun Hold. Whereabouts did you lose your cart?
Oh shit, well, technically we were going through a border pass or something, aren't we?
Just say Riverwood, I'd say.
Technically it was Helgen.
Yeah, it was Helgen.
Good, but he might know what happened to Helgen.
No,
I think that's a better reason to name drop it.
No. We were accosted just short of Helgen.
He scratches at his beard a little. A lovely town, that Helgen. You know, I think one of my cousins' holidays there quite irregular.
Everyone's cousin go to Helgen.
Alright. Many we have spoken to have claimed links to Helgen. It indeed seemed like it was a very popular location.
His eyes narrow. Was?
Well, things may have changed since we were last there. Who knows how it is now?
You could have just gone for a second there.
You could have just gone when we were last
Start
there.
the tourist season.
I was a little bit afraid for my cousin Ricky.
Bag roll and Ricky.
There's like the most ominous way you can just say, I can talk in the past tense, you know.
What is Balgrolf's second name?
Is that? I don't know whether that is his second name. It could be
He's
Dave Balgruff.
Balgruff of
No,
Whiterun.
he's Balgruff the Greater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, presumably it's just of Whiterun.
Alright, so his cousin, Ricky of Whiterun, who lives in Helgen.
No, he holidays in Helgen.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yes. So, where were you going with this actually, Jomo? Because he's kind of got a little bit off track there.
Just seeking information, potentially, of
either a force with a card, or like just describing the card and then describing, I can't remember which general it was that was on top of the card.
So are you name-dropping General Tullius stole your card?
I don't know that, like, for a fact it's Tullius. I'm just going to describe him.
He named himself in front of you.
Oh, did he? Okay, then. Yes.
Apparently one known as Tullius took it upon himself to seize our card.
Balgruuf looks visibly bewildered. This is a very strange day. You know, oddly enough, I have actually seen your cart, I believe.
Eyes wide, like Puss in Boots, sort of wide, like, oh, you've seen our cart!
Your man Tullius, General Tullius of the Imperial Legion, is known to me. He came belting down here just a day or two ago. Claimed to be chasing Ulfric Stormcloak himself, though I saw neither hide nor hair of him. I refused to let him into the city. He was accompanied by several legionnaires, maybe a dozen or so, and was actually riding a fairly garish cart, which does somewhat match up with the description you've given me. I was worried he might be hiding weapons in it, trying to launch a coup, but you're saying he just stole your cart.
Yeah. Stamp my paw on the hip.
I have no idea if that means yes or no.
That's a yes.
Ah. These are bewildering circumstances. Well, I've got good news and bad news for you then, I'm afraid, Monsieur Priest. Addressing the smaller Khajiit.
At this point, I'm going to kind of bow myself and like hold Zan'zharim up slightly above me. Like,
Simba hold.
Yeah.
Well, the bad news is, as I say, I didn't let them into the city. He seems to have left. I strongly suspect he would have gone to the Imperial Hold, the capital of Skyrim, Solitude, where most of the Legion's HQ is stationed.
Yuhnbric pipes up at this point.
You left the room, Ollie.
Oh, did I? Oh, fuck, sorry.
You're on Team Wizard.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing.
Cool.
You went off to
Solid.
go see Farengar Secret Fire, but we haven't got to that yet, because
Okay.
you all specifically abandoned Jomo
Yeah.
to waltz towards Balgruuf, who could have just executed him, because... fuck
I
that
mean,
guy.
yeah.
Ah, dear. Where were we at? The good news, at least for yourself, is that Tullius is an irritating oaf of a man, and didn't take my refusal to allow his troops inside the city particularly well. Whilst he left, and I'm pretty sure he went with your cart, I have good reason to believe that there are Imperial soldiers hiding either in the outskirts of Whiterun, potentially with sympathizers, or somewhere in the surrounding Taiga. Even if he didn't go to Solitude, they would likely know where your cart was taken.
Yeah.
Can I just... Why did he steal your cart? The Imperial Legion isn't above commandeering things, but usually And then he kind of twigs. It's usually your horse that drives the cart, right? Okay, now it makes sense. Why do you adjust? But why not take a different horse? Oh. Puts his head in his hands and just quietly sighs.
I'd like to take the opportunity to kind of like just interject, straighten up again. No longer Simba hold Zan'zharim.
Much appreciated, great Lord Jarl. We shall sing the song of how truly just you are. And upon our return, we shall propose great trades with you.
He nods. Yes, very much. Same to you, I suppose. As ever, pleasure to have visiting dignitaries from exotic locales in Whiterun.
Must happen often.
Sorry?
Must happen often in old Whiterun.
More so nowadays.
Oh, watch out for this shouty guy. Sorry.
Which one?
Doesn't matter.
What do I mean, which one? There's only one shouty guy so far.
Do dragons count as shouty guys?
Yes. But you've not warned him of Alduin.
I like her.
At this point, there is a dramatic entrance to the rear of the hall. Now, you can't see it, obviously, but you can tell that it happens. Because as this figure enters the hall, they yell a single word. Dragon! All faces turn, including yourselves, presumably, reflexively.
Yeah.
To see an incredibly muscly and nearly naked Nordling.
The guy.
The mate.
Who just kind of blinks. What the actual fuck? Sorry, Balgruth blinks, followed by what the actual fuck, not totally normal Nord guy. Dragons, what the actual fuck. Begins striding towards the throne. Balgruth motions for 2 guards. And has a little stroke. No, Balgruth motions for 2 guards. Crazy, take him to the dungeon.
Let's do it.
And then turns back to his Khajiit dignitaries. Well, I hope you didn't have any trouble with the gate guards. I'll leave a description of yourselves and kind of peers past you, slightly hauntedly out of the doors. And your horse as well, of course. So that... Just had the image of the horse getting over the wall in the same way young Nicholas did last session. Just like a 4-meter vertical...
Gracious leaping.
Oh dear. Yes, I'll leave a description so that you're not to be troubled. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Lord Jarl's hospitality has already been most gracious. To ask any more would be to go too far.
He smiles at you. You know, it's been the longest time since I've had dignitaries who actually act with grace and tact. The amount of people who come in here nowadays just asking something for nothing. Shakes his head. Well, if that's all, I've got a number of Yarly duties to be getting on with.
I would like to, how far away are we from each other? Because I'm expecting a respectable distance.
Yeah, he kind of gestured you to keep coming closer and closer and closer until you're basically stood right in front of the throne. So like a meter and a half.
Okay, cool. I would like to proffer Zan'zharim's,
it is customary to provide headpads for good lucks.
Balgruth kind of looks at the 2 of you, and then around at several of his guards who are either bewildered, a little bit scared, or, at least in a couple of cases, very obviously trying to conceal their laughter, and then, why not? How often do you get a chance for a blessing from Stendar? And then he kind of leans forward and puts his head under the cat's paw.
Meow.
Thank you for your blessing, Master Priest.
With that, I'd like to do, the 4 or 5 steps backwards before turning around and walking out.
Cool. Where are you going to? Are you just leaving Dragon's Reach, or are you going to wander it?
I suppose we'll go ahead and enjoy the gardens while we wait for our companions. What say you, my Lord Zan'zharim?
Meow. Yeah, sure.
I think the gardens
keep an ear out for any Imperial soldiers lurking around.
They'd be ballsy to be hanging around Dragon's Reach itself when they've been specifically barred from the city.
But we are also Khajiit in here.
Yeah, but the difference is you just tricked your way past a couple of guards, whereas they'd be actual either spies or effectively hostile soldiers. So there's Imperial soldiers are significantly more banned from Whiterun than you are, basically.
You have an actual reason to be there.
Well, I mean, they have reasons to be there. It's just that those reasons would be seditious. Whiterun's trying to be neutral and absolutely does not want Imperial soldiers within the city walls because they're very justifiably worried that the Legion will just quietly take control. So, I think the gardens for Dragon's Reach are mostly outside it, so you kind of saunter out of the main doors, and then just quietly look at find a nice overhang to sit down on. You have the whole of Whiterun sprawling below you, this sort of beautiful stepped city built onto this natural hill, with modest yet oddly fierce plant life growing around the rocks surrounding the march up to Dragon's Reach. From here you can see down to Jorvaskr, the Hall of the Companions, where they are fiercely dueling. And in the very, very distance, seemingly unnoticed, or at least not assigned significance by anyone, if you peer just a little bit too hard, or hard enough rather, you can make out the distant, slowly dying black fumes of Helgen.
Oh, what happened to definitely
How
not
has nobody
Dragon?
noticed? He's in the dungeon.
Shout Dragon. Did they successfully apprehend him?
Of course they did. He's a fucking Elder Scrolls protagonist. He belongs in a dungeon.
Yeah,
he's also like level 2 at this point.
He is successfully apprehended.
Guess he is rushing story.
I don't know what you mean. He's perfectly normal. He's perfectly ordinary, nearly nude Nord. In the grand Elder Scrolls tradition. Team Nord on that subject, who are not naked. So you're very obviously, but almost politely being tailed by a guard, but otherwise you've waltzed off down a side corridor. It isn't super difficult to go find Farengar. You can basically wind your way straight there. People will very happily give you directions, or otherwise the guard who is following you will also very happily give you directions. Farengar is the court wizard of Whiterun. He is, in some respects, a merchant. People do come here just to see him. So this isn't particularly unusual behaviour. That said, what do? Do you just want to go straight to Farengar, or are you going to,
my reminder for last session was to get a quest from the Jarl or get a quest from the wizard?
Wizard,
get approval, right?
It was either, frankly. You're not really... I'll find the actual reminder. You specifically noted that you wanted a quest from the Jarl at Dragon's Reach so that you could afford to make things at the Forge, but your... what you want is money. I think it was like a net of 2,200 G for all of your projects. It's not important that it be the Jarl, it's important that whoever it is pay you.
Yeah, okay, that's fine then. Cool. I guess we'll walk to the wizard. Old sparkly fingertips.
Cool. Farengar Secret Fire's office is a fairly pokey affair, which absolutely reeks of potions and potion ingredients. Which, Skyrim being Skyrim, is just a foul stench. There are more than a few severed limbs or body parts scattered throughout the room, including several giant's toes, which are themselves as large as many of your forearms.
Being giant.
Farengar is wearing a nice and somewhat neatly embroidered blue robe, though a little bit of a look at the front of it sees that there's more than a few stains nearly burnt into the fabric. He's sort of off to one side, grinding away at a mortar and pestle as you approach, but puts it down and turns to face you, sort of brushing dry ingredients off himself as you come in. Ah, Arnaulf. Been a while. Has he met you, Revere? I don't know how long you've actually been with Arnaulf.
We're acquaintances.
Yeah,
I've been with Arnaulf for, let's say, about a year now.
Cool. So, I think if I remember Benji's pontificating about Farengar, that means that you would have just about signed up with Arnaulf by the last time that Arnaulf came by to see Farengar. It was either a year or 2 years ago. And he shoots a friendly glance. Revere, nice to see you again. And who's your Dunmer friend?
Hello, my name is Yuhnbric. And
he stretches out a hand to you.
I guess I bring out a hand and I clasp it firmly.
That's not a Dunmer name. Where are your parents from? History buffs?
We're from here and there. You could say that, my name is a bit out of time.
I'll say that. It's a Dwemer name, is it not?
I believe it's related, yes.
Well, we're all named after rather odd things, I suppose. I have no idea which of my ancestors thought Secret Fire would be an interesting name for a family, but...
Not exactly secret these days.
No, well, quite. Not as I keep regular office hours. He nods to the guard. They're known, they're fine, you can go. He takes one last, slightly suspicious look at the three of you and then sidles out of the room. Farengar sort of ambles over to one side, pours himself a mead from a somewhat mangy-looking bottle. What can I do for the lot of yous?
Oh, frankly, I see as we talk at over each other. I wait for the awkward tension to go, and then I continue talking.
Farengar's eyebrows raised. He's a little bit intrigued here. You've come for different purposes. Carry on then.
I gesture towards Revere, not Revere. Arnaulf. By all means, go ahead. You go.
Farengar very deliberately switches his gaze to Arnaulf.
You know on that dig down in the south, near the Jurel Mountains?
Farengar scratches his beardless chin. I can't say I do.
Right, well, basically, my last job was down near the Jurel Mountains. Mine and Revere's, you know. We were doing some work for some wealthy broad from Dawnstar. Dawnstar Solitude, my bad. I'm getting homesick. But basically, how to put this delicately, all of the wonderful artifacts we dug up kinda got jacked by the Imperial Legion, who took us in and arrested us under suspicion of sedition, somehow.
Farengar sort of relaxes in his chair and gives you a very sort of commiserating glance.
Basically, we need work.
God, I don't know what I've got for you, I'm afraid. The tensions with the Legion are running rather high at the moment. I've got a package needs to go to my mother in Helgen, but that seems a bit beneath you.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take it if you've got nothing else, but I don't know, heading back down south might bring up painful memories of our incarceration unjustly but the hands of the Legion.
Hey, well...
Okay, out of character. Callum, should we tell him?
What about Helgen? Or about the fact that...
He's a good contact and might give us more work at some point. We need to keep him on side if he knows we kept it from him.
This is where you get a side quest to check on his mum.
I want to go check on his mum, to be honest. I don't want to play...
We come clean about it and then go have to find his mother.
I mean, she's probably dead.
Might not be.
Yeah, but you know...
We don't have to come clean about it.
No, I know, but this is my question of should we come clean about it? This is a contact we know and will give us lucrative work.
This is happening in character with just shifty glances between the two of us.
Yeah, basically, yes.
Farengar's kind of looking between the two of you as you do so. Can I get anyone a drink?
Okay, is that a yes or a no, Callum? Should we tell him or not?
I don't think we should tell him yet.
Yuhnbric at the back, not included in the shifty glances.
I think we should tell him. I think we should tell him.
Well, I mean, you can do it unilaterally, even as Revere is very obviously subtly shaking his head.
I'm there, like, I guess I'm trying to fiercely signal with my eyebrows. Can I get some work before we emotionally devastate him?
Hey, your mother burned to death.
Yeah, but then we'll come back to him for the work, for the payment of the work, and he won't pay us because it was just like, you didn't tell me that Helgen had been attacked.
It's alright, I don't have to pretend.
I'll take your lead on it. Given that I'm essentially your, I don't know, bodyguard / strong pair of arms.
Right. I don't know how to say this, the old mucker. Helgen is come down with a slight case of burnt to the ground by a giant dragon.
Farengar blinks. I'm sorry?
Yeah. The way we got out of our incarceration from the Imperial Legion was a giant dragon appeared and burnt the city down.
But you can't tell anyone.
Wait, when did this happen? You're gonna have to... I'm sorry if I sound a little incredulous, but dragons have been basically extinct for centuries at this point.
Yeah.
And you're telling me one just appeared and burned down Helgen.
Have you looked out of the window to the south recently?
But you know, I haven't actually.
Why don't you go and have a quick check out the window to the south?
No one in Whiterun has looked to the south.
Nobody has looked to the south, but we have, and we know there's a giant fucking pillar of smoke.
There are north-facing people.
All right.
We don't have naught to do with them there, Southrons.
Please don't even look south.
Oh god, they're from Yorkshire. Callum, quickly do a decent Yorkshire accent, the rest of us can't.
I can't do a decent Yorkshire accent.
If we ever do a sigil game, I will take the time to learn to do a decent Yorkshire accent.
Welcome to Skyrim.
Skyrim?
I was saying this to Callum and Benji earlier, but for the rest of you, I picked up Planescape Torment again, and I don't know how I forgot, but for whatever reason, the city at the center of the multiverse in classic D&D is heavily patterned with a variety of, like, not quite, but almost fantasy Yorkshire accents. So it's the center of everything and, like, the most sophisticated place in the setting, sort of. But 90% of the population is from Yorkshire. And I'm not opposed to that, but it's odd, and I kind of love it. It's
League of Gentlemen run the cosmos.
It's just reinforcing that it's a fantasy setting.
It's like when every druid in The Witcher is inexplicably Welsh, even though the druids supposedly recruit from every nation in the setting, none of whom are Welsh, which implies that the Welsh accent in The Witcher is
magic.
It's some cultural part of being a druid. Yeah, it's
like if you live
at druid school.
I mean, if you live somewhere long enough, you do start picking up the local accent, so maybe it's like something to do with that.
But the druids live everywhere, is the thing.
Just found out when you start doing druid magic, your vocal cords change a little bit.
It is my favourite, as I said to them earlier, best part of Total War Warhammer 2 is all the dwarves are from Yorkshire. So then, when they fight the orcs, they just spend the entire time screaming, "Shoot the Wazzocks!"
Oh, beautiful. Regional accents in fantasy are good shit. Cool, we went off on a whole fucking tangent there. Yeah, so Farengar kind of looks between the three of you. Well, I'm going to be honest here. The story is fundamentally ludicrous, but it is a bit of an odd one. All right, yeah, I'll be right back. He grabs, rummages around in one of his desks for a little bit and pulls out a little seeing eye stone.
Does he have to test willpower to look south?
No, he just
nature
specifically checked that
Slowly
direction.
Grinds his neck around.
Like, when was the last time you specifically peered into the distance, just in case? Maybe Rorikstead burnt down when no one was looking. You don't know.
Just be some adventurers having a
I always
bonfire.
look viciously towards the south and the north, more so towards the north.
And Northerners.
They can be plucking something.
So, he turns to the three of you just as he's leaving the room. Make yourself at home. The mead on the desk is a bit cheap, but you're welcome to a glass apiece. I'll be right back.
could I do a test to see what magical apparatus he has around him?
Oh, shit, tons of stuff. He is the court wizard. He's got an enchanting desk. The whole room is packed head to toe with ingredients. There are scrolls and magical tomes scattered around the place.
I can't believe the Khajiit missed this opportunity.
Is there anything that looks really broken or could do with a significant upgrade based on my magical knowledge?
I think you would recognize a lot of this as magically potent, but it's not mechanical. It's more spell-based.
That's fine.
So,
I am an animist as well, so...
Yeah, so you're familiar with soul gems and such, but it's not that you couldn't do anything with this, it's that the paradigm that modern mages operate under is fairly substantially different to how Dwemer magic operated. They're doing the same thing, but in very radically different ways.
Yeah. Maybe I could suggest something to him then that is the Dwemer way of doing things. You're like, you might get better results if you do it this way.
When the world says up, you tell the world fuck you and you make it say down.
That was the go-to Dwemer thing, and it didn't often go super well. It would work, but haha, we only had to kill 9 orphans this time. Cool, so Khajiit, you're sat outside, casually looking south, wondering why no one's seen this big plume of smoke, when a man in blue wizard robes strolls out next to you, carrying a seeing eye stone, and sort of peers at the horizon.
Yeah.
Gently drops the stone from his eye. My mum? And then he rushes back inside with no context.
Well, before he rushes in, how firmly was he holding the stone in his hand as he lowered it from his eye? And
Does he drop it in shock?
Hold on a second.
How big are seeing eye stones? What are they?
He drops the stone in shock.
Oh, perfect. No worries then. I was going to try and bite it out of his hand and run off, but we'll just have it then.
Just out.
The best time to get anyone is when they're grieving.
So how did the Elfique die? Well, he bit the court wizard and reflexively was set on fire and then, yeeted down the steps of Dragon's Reach.
There's a 50% chance per cast that wizard can't hurt me with magic. Right.
That's pretty fair. It's an Atronorc cat. Fuck you, world. Oh, I'm calm. As for size, it's maybe 2 thumbs of the human variety. We have no young Nicholas. That's the first time thumbs have come up, and there's been no odd queries about what exactly constitutes a thumb and if his elbow counts. Okay. So yes, the stone clatters to the floor.
I'm gonna casually lean down, pick it up, and pocket it.
Yeah, there's no one outside. You quietly pocket it, and he's too busy reeling from the utter devastation as he's already rushed inside, in fact, so he didn't see shit. Although he would have seen you guys there, but maybe didn't process it. So the rest of you have been left alone in the room. What do?
I guess I'm just taking a nosy at his magical artifacts, seeing if there's anything that piques my interest.
Just going to be standing there waiting, just taps a foot slightly. He should be back in any minute now.
I start running my.
Do we hear the screams or the shouts?
There's no screams or shouts yet. Revere, what was that? Sorry.
I start running my paw along bottles.
Just do that thing where you make eye contact with something and push off a shelf.
Yeah, it's consciously suppressing the will, with your will, the desire to push all of the bottles off the shelf.
Sorry, my instincts are too strong.
Must Nord.
I grew up in a house of alchemists. It was terrible.
Skyrim is for the Nords!
How overcompensating are you? You grew up in a house of alchemists and became a punch cat.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so you don't hear the screams. You do hear the footsteps echoing down the stone hall, however, Arnaulf, before Farengar bursts into the room. He kind of rushes up to you, starts shaking you by the lapels. What the fuck happened?
Rushes up to which of us?
Arnaulf.
I rush towards the mead to pour him a glass.
Mate, I told you what happened. A giant fuck-off dragon appeared and burnt the town down.
He kind of slumps in his chair. I think I need a moment to process. Oh, thank you. And accepts a glass of mead from Yuhnbric and then quietly just look, and exit. He'll take... Just give me the bottle, in fact. So, let's process things. When you say the dragon attacked the town, are we talking like a small raid, or... His eyes...
It landed on top of the bloody castle, was as big as the castle, and then burnt the town down by screaming at it.
Oh. So, I guess my mum is dead.
Well,
Why
I
not,
wouldn't say
mate?
so, mate, because as you can plainly see, we escaped. Plenty of people seem to get out of there.
I'll have to look into that as quickly as I can. But, slightly more pressing deal, could you describe the dragon?
Big, black.
Yeah,
Angry.
giant black dragon, big as a castle, landed on top of it, as previously described.
Looked a bit smug.
It's a dragon, mate. They all look fucking smug.
Farengar shakily gets up out of the chair he collapsed into, walks over to a bookshelf, and starts tracing his finger across various tomes. For selecting one, pulling it out, flipping through it very rapidly, turning to face the three of you with holding it up. A sketch of a large black dragon. Fairly similar, yet somewhat cartoony to the one you saw. Adorns the left-hand page. It wasn't this one, was it?
Oh, hey, you've
Could be
seen
the
it
one.
before.
Slams the book. Okay, well, this is a bad Tuesday. Wait, what's Tuesday in Elder Scrolls, Cal?
Tuesday.
Well,
Deep
Tuesday
and
is
rich.
Thursday,
Such a
right?
deep and rich lore.
Tuesday is Thursday. Thor is sure, so it should
It's
be.
not actually
It should be Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Thursday's Thursday.
Oh, yeah, that's a very good point.
Oh, what's? Oh, yeah, Tuesday.
Tuesday is Two North Day.
Yeah.
No,
there we
it's
go.
Thursday.
Or is Tuesday's Moon Day? No, that's
No, Monday's Moon's Day.
That makes a lot more sense.
I
Where's
thought
Tuesday?
Monday was Morndas.
No, Monday's Moon's Day.
I'm just thinking in old English.
You know what? Let's double.
Yeah, it's
check.
Morndas. Turdas is Tuesday, and Morndas is Monday.
This is all right.
Rich
Yeah.
and deep lore.
This is a fucking wanker of a turd ass. I'll say that.
Turd ass.
Turd ass. It's bad old turd ass you got going there.
Is that what they call Klingons around here?
So I've got some bad news, everyone. He slumps into a different chair and just a hand goes to a table, pulls out an alchemical ingredient. It's like a yellowy blue grass, and he starts nibbling at it just to calm my nerves. So what you just saw, I strongly suspect, was Alduin, which for the Nords would be a familiar name.
Alduin, World Eater, First Herald of Aktosh, all that lot.
Alduin the World Eater, indeed.
My parents told me
I
about him.
can't start hearing the phrase world eater. I'm sorry. Context? How many worlds has he eaten before to be titled as such? That seems improbable.
It's his raison d'etre, so, do what you love, / are good at, and I suppose people just named him after that.
How many worlds has he eaten?
When was... I mean, potentially all of them is the actual answer to that question.
Because what the heck is the Norse name for Akatosh? I can't remember.
I think it's Akatosh.
No, there's another one
Second
for it.
question. How do people know to call him the world eater?
It's not
if he's
RK, is it?
everyone on these worlds.
No.
He likes to tell
No.
people.
Ah,
Yeah,
he's a
he
hopeful
famously don't shut up about it.
He's very verbose. It's, in fact, technically his superpower. one of two. Sorry, I'm just taking a speedy look. You would actually be familiar with Alduin as well, I think, Ollie.
Yeah?
The Dragon War... God. When did the Dwemer disappear, Callum? Is it the first era or the
First age.
First era.
First era. Oh, okay, yeah, no. So, actually, maybe you wouldn't, because the Dragon War is the Merethic. So, he would have been banished by the time...
It's ancient history, even by your time.
Yeah. So, you might not. So, we'll take a lore test from you then, Ollie, at a -20. Because no one really gives a shit about Alduin other than the Nords, who are terrified of him.
So, I think that's definitely a fail. Lore is intelligence -10. So 41 or under, so 2 degrees of failure.
Yeah, no, this is a complete blank to you. You're familiar with the dragon god Akatosh in his Dwemer name, which I totally know. And dragons overall were still a thing when you were running around the place, so it's a bit weird that people are so freaked out about them, but you're not super familiar with the legend of Alduin. It was a sky people problem. Or surface dweller, rather. Cool.
Come get me in my caves, World Eater.
It's kind of the Dwemer of Skyrim's thing. They sat out an immense amount of devastation and random fuckery, including their entire land getting annexed repeatedly by several people, because they were underground. Give a fuck about the surface dwellers.
That's the problem.
That's the dirt people problem, and we're under dirt people.
Exactly. If you ain't on the geocline, don't give a shit.
Oh god, all I can see is the fucking Dwemer as wombles now. Under Earth, over Dwemer and free. The Dwemer of Black Creature, wherever are we?
Arkansas or something, isn't it? But they didn't Dwemer around over. You know what? Farengar's kind of a little bit devastated. So, that would mean we are living through the apocalypse and potential end of the world.
That sounds unfortunate. Internally, Yuhnbric is questioning what cruel god plucked him from his timeline and then put him in the apocalypse.
I don't think we should tell anyone about this.
Farengar just kind of stares at you. I think we should tell everyone about this.
No, I don't think we should start a panic.
I think we need to be informed. That dragon could attack Whiterun at any moment. Or indeed any city.
Yeah! On the other hand, we've got a cart to find.
I mean, it really depends whether or not this is, as you say, the end of days, because forgive me if I'm wrong, and I might have forgotten since my schooling days, but is it not said that Alduin is totally and completely invincible? So, if we tell everyone, and this is in fact the end, does it really matter at all if we tell everyone because he's invincible?
We could just make peace with it.
Exactly what he said. Whereas if it's not the end of days, then presumably, we'll get shanked or whatever.
I think you're giving up awfully quickly. There's got to be something we can do. Maybe he was defeated once before. Maybe we can do...
So whatever beat him before, we'll beat him again.
That's not how these things work. We've got to look
That's exactly how these things work.
And moreover, he's not a meteor striking to wipe out all of Tamriel. He's going to burn us down one city at a time and eat the souls of our dead.
Well, what if we direct him south?
I mean, that's perhaps an idea, but still, that's massive loss of life.
Yeah, but it's south life.
It's not our problem, is it?
Farengar kind of recoils from the both of you. They're people too. Men,
people,
cats.
Not Nords.
He holds up his hands. I'm not entertaining this anymore. The Jarl needs to know.
whatever. Actually, that's
Move
a question.
towards the door.
I'd like to turn to Revere. Here, you're younger. You're a lot younger than I am. You've had your schooling years, not too far behind. What did beat Alduin the first time?
I don't know if people know.
What did the Alduin the first time?
What did Alduin in the first time?
The great heroes of the Nords, obviously.
Right, well, we're right foot then, aren't we?
Yeah, not many of those around.
About to say, if it's like the great heroes of the Nords and they're supposed to be the companions, they let us in.
Ulfric could do it. Let's ask him.
One shouty boy versus the Dragon of the North. Wait, not the Dragon of the North, the fucking World Eater.
Yeah, it's kind of the Dragon of everywhere.
Quick question about dragons, friends. How many dragons would it take to defeat the World Eater? Rough ballpark. Anyone know?
It's a bit of a question, mate, because we don't have any dragons. They're all dead. Which is why he turns up and he's all dragony and shit, and it's a bit of a problem.
Yes, they have been dead for centuries, haven't they?
Well,
yeah, so I'm sort of moving towards the door to block it off.
Okay, yeah, what's your end game here then, Revere? Because Farengar is kind of half-heartedly moving towards the door, but looking a little bit confused by the fact that you're blocking him in here.
Why are you trying to prevent him telling people?
Raise my paws. Let's not be hasty now.
People are going to die, Revere.
Die every day, mate.
Yeah, and you know what
I dig up their corpses regularly. It's kind of a thing.
Do you know what used to happen? They used to die and go to Sovngarde. Now they're going to die and get eaten by a dragon.
We could use this to our advantage.
They only go to Sovngarde if, they lived lives worthy of it.
Farengar kind of clutches his head in his hands. That's not the point. What is wrong with you people? This is a disaster.
I'm with the wizard on this. We're like, guys.
I mean, what are we supposed to do? It's not like we can take him on.
Then there's no harm in letting people know, isn't there?
As I said with the Ulrich thing, if we take him on, it's one shouty boy and a cat against the end of all things.
We're in neutral town. What do you think they're going to do? They're just going to sit on the fence anyway.
Right.
They might join the Imperials.
Okay, right. Let's say we do something about this. Who needs to know, given that you are an educated man who seems to know more about this than us, who needs to be told that he has returned?
Whoa.
He sort of looks between the three of you. Well, for starters, the Jarl.
Oh, right, yeah, but I figured you could handle that bit, given that you're the court mage of Whiterun. I meant in general.
I'm trying
given that we're going to be travelling around for a bit, who else needs to be told?
I think the Jarl's probably going to send out horsemen.
What if I get the Jarl in here and he can keep a secret?
Hold on a second. Yeah, no, he's going to speed cast calm person on Revere.
As just before that happens, I'm even like, wait. Just because we tell people about it doesn't mean we need to take part as a giant world-eating dragon. I'm fine letting people know, but that doesn't mean I have any responsibility to take the thing on.
And what do you think is going to happen to the car? We'll never find it.
I mean,
calm person won't make you move out of the way. And
I mean, Revere, what was it that you had on that cart? Because, I mean, to be honest,
you can slip past him.
Thinking about it more and more, my family's ancestral shovel, as treasured an icon as that is for my life, does slightly pale against the end of all things.
Okay, he's casting calm person at level 5.
A flute helps me sleep at night.
Spending a fatigue.
What? Oh, it's a flute.
How many degrees of success is that?
It's, you know what? I actually don't think that is a success.
Boom.
Yeah, no, he moves his fingers and Revere, it fizzles.
He'd get plus.
Did you just try to kill me?
No. I was just trying to calm you down.
I am calm.
I know
what was that?
A stressful situation, but I need to go and tell the Jarl now.
Stressful situation. Man called Secret Fire waves his hands in my direction and sparks come out. You bet that's a stressful situation.
All right.
mate as well.
I think we can take this calmly, quietly, and guards.
I'd like to punch him and try and knock him out.
Oh God!
How is it escalating so far?
He's calling the guards on us.
Why are you even stopping him from telling anyone? I don't understand.
Because we started, and by God, we'll see it through.
By God, we are not going to hit the main quest.
I thought it was funny that we weren't telling anyone with a cousin there. But come on.
So, all right, yeah. So you deck him from behind in the back of the head.
He's already shouted guards now. As well. Now we can come into a knocked-out wizard.
Right. Revere. Do you remember your rudimentary training for being a ventriloquist?
Are we going to weekend at Birdie's this guy?
No, I'm sorry. We need to do the roll. We need to do the roll to see how the punch goes first. Cool. What is that? So I guess surprise attack. That's probably a +30. Yeah, strength at a +30, please, Benji.
It's escalated so fast.
Success by 1 point.
Oh,
yeah, 1 DOS. You deck him in the back of the head, and he goes sprawling to the floor, screaming in pain.
Right. Will you suddenly calm down?
he's screaming and flailing. You hear footsteps pounding along the corridors outside, rushing towards the sounds of the noise.
Arnaulf, I think we should go.
You gonna go?
Yuhnbric is just blinking in the corner.
Can I just crouch down by the wizard?
Because apparently every single person is going to have this reaction.
Look, just tell me one thing. Have you seen a cart?
The footsteps outside are incredibly close. You have basically a split second for anything final you want to do before the guards arrive.
How far? Can I just walk into that corridor he came in? The guy used to go outside to the outer areas, or are the footsteps coming from that area?
They are coming from that area. You can
window?
I don't think there was a window in here.
Fuck.
Oh, he had to go outside.
Yeah, he had to go outside. Oh, you've frozen on my screen, Ollie.
Yeah, I'm going back on webcam. Yeah, I guess I just collapsed to the floor, put my hands up, put behind my head, and I'm like, you guys are all fucking idiots!
I didn't mean for it to go this far.
You punched him!
I didn't punch him!
Are you blind? I hit him!
You punched him! I don't know, it all happened so fast.
Just to wind back, the original reason Benji told him was to not aggravate him as a contact for business.
Not saying we do good work.
You
decked him in the back of the head.
I feel like everything this far, outside punching in the head, could have been explained.
I'm not with these guys, I swear.
Can I get on my knees and also put my hands up?
Yeah, the guards skid to a halt outside the room. There's maybe 3 of them. And as they see the situation and there's 3 of you, they also yell out, "More guards!"
Anything. Can I just ask you one question?
Have you seen a cart?
No. How many of you have relatives in Helgen?
The guards look slightly nonplussed, quietly draw their swords. Many of us have relatives in Helgen. It's a well-known retirement.
Look out the window. Ask him about it, and then B, go look out the window. Because seriously, you're going to want to.
Why are you threatening a retirement settlement?
Oh god.
Mate, it ain't a retirement settlement anymore. It's
Skyrim's most prestigious boarding school.
Out of character, Benji, why on earth did we come in here and then decide to tell him only to try and make sure we didn't antagonize him and not spread panic.
I just think it's me being with Callum that just brings out the worst in me.
Is to punch him in the back of the head and then tell all of the guards what's happened.
I stepped in front of a door.
Literally the two things we did not want to happen.
I'm fairly sure it's just being around Callum brings out the worst in me.
Blame Callum for this.
I think this is a lack of young Nick.
No, I said he brought out the worst in me.
I think Carl is right. We don't have young Nicholas to draw the bad decisions out in planning, which is allowing them to just come out. Anywho, so the guards, swords drawn, advance on you. That is the worst excuse I've ever heard. Hands up. Two of you actually already do have your hands up, as you specified, so they're ready to cuff, but not moving forwards yet. The swords are drawn, pointing straight at Arnaulf at the moment.
Fire me, old mucker. Do you mind corroborating my story about Helgen?
I don't give a shit about your story about Helgen. You've clearly attacked the court wizard. Hands up, you're going to prison.
Punches wizards to stop him telling people about Helgen. It's not Earth's response when the guards said, do you know anyone in Helgen?
The two things we did not want to happen have just happened. Because
I didn't know it would get this far.
You just had to punch a wizard, didn't you, Benji? You just had to punch a wizard.
But I was trying to be nice and tell him about his family. But this is what I get. I'll go back to
everyone we tell about Helgen punches them in the head.
I was just trying to be nice, he says, as he does the brutal murder of the guy's family, then sucker punches him in the head and tries to emotionally blackmail the guards that come in.
That's what you get for trying to warn people about the end of the world.
I feel like this is on the same.
Sorry, I need a moment. I was not prepared.
Guys, I've got an idea. Let's tell everyone the apocalypse has happened.
That was his idea, and apparently stopping him was bad.
Yes! There's a tsunami on the way, but let's not panic, people.
Stopping him was ill-advised. Punching him in the back of the head was bad.
Literally, let's not panic, people. Because if you just run around screaming, there's a tsunami, people will panic.
And you're trying to do.
This is like you punching, you finding the person who's saying, confirming there's a tsunami, punching them in the back of the head, waiting for the local tourist to come along, and then them being like, what's the matter? And you're like, yeah, there's a tsunami.
He wasn't running around screaming at people. He was saying, quickly, we should inform all relevant authorities.
Yeah. Well, I misunderstood then. My response was, I thought he was running out of the door going, oh my god, we've got to tell everybody.
I feel like such a bad influence here. Yes. He's ran so far to the extreme.
You know what? Arnaulf.
Have you heard about Helgen? Stab.
What? Helgen sends its regard. Arnaulf, what do you're getting
I've already
advanced?
I've put my hands up.
Okay, cool. In that case, the three of you are clapped in irons as the guards quietly quietly wait for more guards to turn up, and then begin seeing to secret fire and escort you off rapidly to the dungeons. You are thrown into a cell with one other occupant, a nearly naked Nordic man who is incredibly buff.
So they have one lock between
didn't we bump into you in Helgen?
I don't think you did bump into him in Helgen.
Cat Gang did.
Yeah, Cat Gang did.
Yeah, that was it.
None of these guys.
You've had 3 meetings with him now? This is their first?
No, he was. No,
they
he
might
was
have
in
seen him in the
Riverwood.
store.
I saw him in Riverwood.
He was just staring at a shelf in that shop in Riverwood.
Yeah.
Yeah, the player went AFK or something.
Yeah, didn't I see you in Riverwood?
He looks at you from his position in the corner of the cell where he was just standing. Yes, I spent perhaps half an hour in Riverwood.
longer than that, mate, given you how long you were standing in that general shop.
He looks at you emotionlessly. Have you heard any rumours lately?
Well, we heard there's a dragon.
First topic of conversation now.
From you?
He kind of turns slightly awkwardly to look at Revere instead. Yes, I've seen it. It burnt down that little backwater, Helgen.
Well, I wouldn't go around here telling people it's a backwater. Apparently you get mighty fucking pissed about that.
Quite cherished, actually.
Apparently so.
Yeah,
Hot tourist spot.
Helgen is the cultural heart of Skyrim, filled with tourists coming up from Cyrodiil, and obviously it's a very popular retirement destination, has an amazing boarding school, famed for the best orphanage in Skyrim also. Everyone loves Helgen.
A well-known area of outstanding puppies and kittens as well.
Helgen? Not specifically, no. But I'm sure there were many fine dogs.
Imperial dogs.
He kind of looks between the three of you. So, what crime did you commit?
Oh, he punched a wizard and I happened to be in the vicinity.
There was a small misunderstanding with a wizard and an apocalypse.
And a fist.
Is this the start of a joke?
Nods. Yes, I understand. I tried to tell the Jarl about the dragon.
Oh, they probably believe the dragon rumor now, for what it's worth.
Interesting.
Or they should do in at least the next few minutes.
So you think I'll be released soon?
These people.
Say, if you do get released, could you put in a good word?
His eyes glint. What are you offering for the completion of this quest? Oh, God, that's the fucking Dio voice. What are you offering for the completion of this quest?
Rummages around in my pockets. I can give you... Exposure.
To other quest givers.
He... Hold on a second. You can roll me subterfuge over personality at a +10, Callum.
Yeah, I have no subterfuge, so...
Oh, so net +0 then.
Fair enough. Darn it. Oh, actually, I'll play luck points.
Fair. Yeah, because that's many doff.
Don't forget to check the lucky number.
Oh yeah, that's very true. Is that a lucky number of mine? Nope. Darn it.
Akatosh says no. Yeah, he looks at you. Exposure with who?
Well,
The cold, ourselves, other people.
No.
Who wants to be paid in exposure to the cold?
No,
there's this cheese seller we met.
I think I'll take gold.
Alright, suit yourself.
Quest accepted.
We haven't even told you how much yet.
Does he, instantly write the details of the quest in a journal?
They appear above his head, floating away.
He's a perfectly ordinary person. Now, we should get out of this. We should get out of this cell.
Aye, but that's what we're paying you for, to put in a good word for it.
He just starts walking all around the cell, tries the door.
We occasionally bump into the walls.
Do any of you have a lockpick?
No, we're upstanding Skyrim citizens.
Yeah.
Is there anything I could make one out of?
Yeah, there's a little bit of wire on the floor, actually. I'll take a profession roll at +20.
Yeah, sure. So it's plus. So if I'm a journeyman, that's +20 again, right?
Yeah, journeyman's 20.
Yeah, so plus 40 total over intelligence.
God, I forget that you're actually quite good at this.
Yeah, I made that.
DOS?
4 degrees of success, I think.
Yeah, no, you actually whip up a fairly nifty lockpick with still a fairly nifty lockpick with the sparse ingredients, materials rather, available in your cell. The Nord walks over, grabs the lockpick. I'll have us out in a moment. Walks up to the prison door. There's the sound of a snap. Do you have another lockpick? You've used up the materials, I'm afraid, Ollie.
Oh, it was an imaginary lockpick then.
Yeah, you sort of mentally run the... Could make... No, it's not. He goes,
Oh, actually, I have alteration. I can just spell the door open.
Fair. It's probably quite a hard door, but sure. Depends what your rating's at, I guess.
UESRPG Volume 3.
UESRPG 3rd edition, yes. What page?
Just having a quick look now. God, such spells. Alteration. It's going to be like page 90?
Page 90.
Yeah, page 90.
Let's take a look.
So I'll be casting this at level 3.
Cool, so spell strength. Oh, I see, and then it's the difficulty of the lock, I guess? What do these numbers mean?
Right, I'm not entirely sure. Spell cost, I know how much that is.
Cool. I mean, it's a prison door, so it's going to be pretty difficult to unlock. We'll say it's lock difficulty 10, I guess, whatever that means. That looks pretty hard. What have you got?
So I can roll a maximum of level 3. And that would be a 6.
What's it?
Yeah,
I think it's an extended test, judging from the description.
Oh, cool. So you... that makes sense. So you need 10 successes, then.
What is it? If the extended test threshold to unlock it is spell strength or lower, it instantly unlocks itself. Spell strength or lower? I don't understand. It's just...
Oh, I think I see. So unlocking
the number gets higher the higher level you cast.
So it only unlocks things up to its level, right? And unlocking is an extended skill check.
Sure.
So if the total extended skill check would be equal to or less than the level that the spell can unlock at, then the spell just allows you to unlock it. But otherwise, it's too difficult for the spell. So it basically allows you to use magic to skip the skill check.
I can cast at higher levels from what I remember, but I incur
only if you know the spell.
Yeah, so I know the spell open.
Yeah, you buy it at each level. So if you bought it at level 3, you'd have to buy it at level 5 as well.
Yeah, I remember
that. Cool, yeah, no. So unfortunately, you have a bit of an examine, but it is a prison lock. It is a bit difficult for this. The perfectly ordinary Nord sort of wanders around the cell a little bit. Aha! And then starts kicking at one corner of the walls. Let's just check out with the Khajiits for a second. Khajiits! You've actually had a pretty quiet, lovely time out here, just taking in the wind.
Having a little picnic, nibbling on some cheese. Garden.
Yeah. Skyrim is cold, but it does have a sort of haunting beauty to it, even with the looming threat of Helgen on the horizon. People seem thoroughly aware now, as several more guards have sort of bundled out and then back into the hall with similar exclamations of, "My God," and "The orphanage."
Have any more of them dropped things in shock as they return in?
No.
We've just got a pile of discarded in shock height.
Just the seeing eyeglass.
Sure.
Yeah, what are you guys doing out here?
Are we able to deduce that everyone is becoming aware of Helgen?
Yeah, it's not super difficult to follow. Like, the beans have been spilled. That one guy presumably just told everyone else. Would be the simplest and most logical way for that to happen, of course.
I guess we could peer through a window to see if we can see our friend, but
It's a big palace.
Plus, I've heard there's some dodgy Imperials around who know about my cart, so that's my real priority.
That is the most.
I could actually. I think I can actually unlock it. I've just come across this thing on page 140 on spell effects. An open effect door container within 1 meter unlocks itself. The extended threshold. If the extended test threshold to unlock it is 2 times spell level or lower. So the spell level I would have been casting at was 6, I think. Level 3.
No, that already makes sense. You're casting at level 3, so it's 6 or less.
Oh, I see. Yep, sorry, okay.
No, it's fine. It's a confusing magic system, so it will take a while to... It seems logical, to be fair. It's just a lot to know. Yes, cool. Sorry, so what were we doing, Khajiit?
I'm just blown away by this spell effects page in the book. I didn't know there was something that actually explained.
Me neither. That seems incredibly useful. This presumably explains why we've been getting slightly confused. This is... Why do we never read the fucking rules to anything? I'm coming. Jomo, anything on your end? Your priest seems to be just quietly gnawing at his wheel of cheese.
Occasionally looking around.
Butterflies flapping down. Battered. Yeah.
Sorry, you're completely inaudible, Carl.
Oh, sorry, I had the boom up. So yeah, I'm just going to join in on munching some cheese, and if there are any butterflies flapping about, I'm just going to batter them in the air.
Yeah, butterfly does gently flit about, enjoying the calm of Skyrim, only to get twatted out of the air. Because it's the Skyrim butterfly and it has poor response times.
Can I clamber up to a high position? I mean, I'm assuming Imperial soldiers that are being sneaky probably aren't wearing full Imperial armour, but can I have a look from...
You're actually already in a very high position. So, as I mentioned, it was a while ago, I guess, but the gardens for Dragon's Reach are out the front of the hill that builds up to the palace itself. So you're almost at the very top of Whiterun. You have a commanding view of the majority of the hold, apart from the north, because it's hidden by the palace. But yeah, you can see out clear in almost any direction. Do you, by any chance, have some method of perceiving things at long distances?
Don't know about long distances. I'm not even trained in Observe, to be honest. What spells do I have? Nothing useful. I'm pretty much just looking around blind, pretending I know what I'm doing.
I'll take a speedy intelligence test.
Sure. That is probably a pass. Yes.
Yeah, so as you're quietly, mentally flipping through your available spells, do I have anything to perceive at long distances? You're casually batting the long-distance seeing eye rock between 2 paws, and then it kind of dawns on you.
I pick it up between my 2 paws, crane it up.
Sat on your belly, like, half... not even sat on your belly.
Sat on my belly looking forward. Well, on my back, looking over my belly.
Yeah, fair. I'll take an observe test. What was that, Carl?
It was a willpower test to see if I would actually help out, but unfortunately I find this far too cute, so I'm just going to watch it play out.
Do I get any pluses?
So we'll say it's no pluses, but if you do succeed, you've got the seeing eye rock, so you've actually got a pretty good vision of a huge... Jesus Christ!
Probably do it.
What's the DOS on that?
What's observe roll off again?
Perception, I believe.
Crook. 3.
3 DOS. Fair. Yeah. What specifically are you hoping to find here?
Evidence of Imperials lurking around.
Okay. So, you've got plenty of time to kill. The others seem to be taking their sweet time talking to that mage inside, and although you spend some time having a look for your cart, you can't see anything that looks like, yeah, no, that's obviously General Tullius hidden behind that rock. So instead you move over to maybe there are some of these soldiers you can question. And as Jomo in the background quietly does his best to stop himself screaming. You're trying to, use the rock. And though it's awkward, it actually is a pretty workable situation, especially with so much time to play with. You scan the taiga and forests and rivers and even the mountains of Whiterun in great detail. You can see a variety of very minor villages, the outskirts of Whiterun, individual tribes of giants even. But due southwest, behind a boulder, you can see a small tent encampment. And lurking on top of that encampment is someone who likewise has a seeing eye rock and is training it on Whiterun. Now, not wearing anything that looks specifically Imperial, but this is fairly suspicious behaviour. What do?
Go up to old Jomo the Thumbs. Meow! And then just skitter off in that general direction.
Towards the Imperials?
Yes.
They're quite a ways in the distance. It would take you most of the day. Oh, in fact, you're a small cat. It might take you like a day or so to get there.
My lord, hold a moment. We shall get Dio.
I'll pin them on the map.
In that case, so I don't have to speak, I'll bat the seeing eye stone towards Jomo, then meow towards the direction I saw them.
Directional meows an required speciality skill.
It's more looking in a direction while I meow.
Kind of like point with your nose.
Yeah.
There are some dogs that do that, right? They point with their nose and their tails.
That's what I envisioned, but you look much less enthusiastic.
You are a cat after all, I suppose.
Yeah.
They are now marked on the map.
Next.
Okay. Jomo. A speedy look with the eye stone shows to you as well that there is a suspicious encampment, perhaps a day or so's travel south. Maybe less, but there's not a road going to it. What do?
Oh, Jesus, that's like, I'm going to completely forget about our companions and be completely overwhelmed with the potential of, is that our cart?
You can't see your cart, but it does look like that's sort of an Imperial surveying encampment situation.
Well, we must investigate to see if they have our cart.
Meow.
Would be a bit of a trek, though.
I'm going to go find out wherever they've, stabled Theo.
You can actually see him at the foot of Dragon's Reach, in the very lowest tier of the gardens. He was not put in the stable. His head is down in the grass, and his human mouth is just casually chewing at it.
To pick up Zan'zharim and make haste towards Dio, then.
Hell.
Just gonna leave town. Yeah, sure. It's a fairly swift trip downhill.
Before we leave the palace grounds, go, Zan'zharim Sahir and his brother are chasing a lead on the cart.
Meanwhile, in the prison. Cue the
Sometimes
message.
loud voice convenient.
This is suddenly very useful.
Yeah.
The perfectly ordinary Nord. I've heard that voice before. The dragon speaks to us. Oh, stop doing to you. I've heard that voice before. The dragon speaks to us. As he's kicking the walls still.
Yeah, let's go with that.
He's kicked most of the cell now and been actually pretty irritating as cellmates go, when he happens upon something in the corner. A perfectly ordinary looking block, which, when he kicks it, recesses into the wall. And a small section of brickwork kind of pulls backwards and then to the side, revealing a tiny tunnel. Aha!
Intro.
Freedom!
I guess let's go.
I guess so.
Perfectly ordinary Nord looks at the three of you. Will there be any reward for helping you escape?
You kicked a wall.
He's very poorly, barring the exit, but he hasn't gone through yet. Yes, I kicked all the walls. I'll take gold.
Why don't you go on ahead, and we'll be sure not to come through with you.
Okay. Goodbye. Then he sort of awkwardly crouches down and starts moving through the tunnel. You wait a couple of minutes, and then he's pretty much gone. What do?
Well, I'm gonna go into the tunnel.
I guess we'll follow him through.
I'm gonna put my Dwemer shield in front of me. I think I have a Dwemer shield. Yeah, I do. Yeah. So I put my Dwemer shield in front of me as like a makeshift blockade, I suppose, in case old, totally normal Skyrim player ends up being a bit weird about us following.
Hopefully the tunnel's wide enough for it.
Sure, it'll be fine.
I've got to carry it anyway, right?
Yeah, you can carry it, sideways.
Yeah, it's true.
We'll say it's just about wide enough to squeak it through. Yeah, so that's Yuhnbric going in. Are the other two of you following him?
I got
sure.
none of that, but sure, why not?
How much of it did you not get? The whole tunnel sequence, or just
No, I got that there is a tunnel because this is Scooby-Doo. So let's go for it.
Saw lightning. Storm's coming, boys.
Oh.
Wish the storm would bloody come here.
No storms here. I don't know why I looked out the window. My curtains.
I'm going camping for 3 days from tomorrow.
Rip him.
Yeah, I'm going camping on the weekends.
Oh, it's you guys that brought the rain.
I want more rain.
Good. Everyone go camping. Bring all the rain.
Okay, so the three of you file into the tunnel. Yuhnbric first, holding his shield up to cunningly block line of sight. It winds and twists through the rock face. You have to pass several fairly small gaps where the shield does have to be twisted out of the way, and you're keeping an eye out for perfectly ordinary, nearly nude Nord guy the whole time. But you see neither hide nor hair of him. After perhaps half an hour of twists and turns, you eventually come out in, I guess, the side of a cliff, in fact, if I'm remembering it correctly. The side of a cliff at the very base of Whiterun. You've actually exited the town.
Did we shut the door behind us?
No.
We did.
Nope.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
What do? Where go?
We gotta go see the companions tomorrow. Yeah. Oh no, we gotta get back into the city.
Are you sure you don't have to find another wizard to punch in the head whilst proclaiming to be there peacefully?
Yeah,
that's always time. Oh, Punch Cat gets blamed for everything.
Well, I mean, someone was punched. You're a punch cat.
This is true.
I need a punch cat.
I hate to say it, boys, but we need to get back into the city.
Look, right, we'll go back in the city. I'll go to the Jarl and I'll pay the fine.
Works for me.
This is a valid option. You can just pay the fine.
I will go and I will pay the fine. I'll apologise to the bloke I hit.
You better give him a hug.
What was that, Callum?
Can I give you my money and you can pay my fine as well, just in case it goes badly?
Well, I was about to say, I didn't think you were going to have a fine. I thought it was just me.
I was in prison as well.
Yeah,
I know, but I was the one who hit him.
I think you were all charged.
This including the fine for breaking out of prison as well.
Yeah, that's also a strong point.
Very true. So you can pay the fine. It's probably actually, how much gold do you, how many septims do you have between you?
50 on me.
142 on me.
Technically 1,400, depending on who you ask.
You might actually need a bit more gold before you can pay the fine.
Well, guess we'll need to do a companion's quest then. We'll lay low.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine, Benji said. I'm just gonna make sure we don't tell... We've got fines! Our government hates us! And everyone knows about the apocalypse!
It's fine! We'll go back into the city!
This, I don't know why, but to me, this is on the same level as Nick and Thawer. And being like, no, I don't want that demon to come back. Okay, demon, you can come back.
No.
Similar trains of thought, I feel.
There have been other Khajiit running around. I'll just pretend to be one of the others.
Grit your teeth. Yes. Scuba.
Skooma is for the Khajiit.
Oh, dear. There is skooma stuff happening, by the way. I did my research, and by that I mean I asked someone else who's played more Skyrim than me, and you've kind of neatly, accidentally sidestepped all of the Whiterun skooma content, of which there is a moderate amount.
I know something really interesting about the game AI and skooma way back when.
Radiant AI. Did you watch the Fact Fiend focus video as well?
I don't remember watching a video on it. But possibly, yeah.
Can you summarize it in 2 sentences or less?
It's also Oblivion's AI.
They made a super powerful... They made like a quite a complicated AI to have citizens simulate their day-to-day lives. One citizen in, I want to say, Riverwood, got a skooma addiction. QA testers kept discovering people were dying in the city, in the town. Turns out the guy with the skooma addiction was killing everyone to steal off them. To fund this skooma addiction.
No, this was Oblivion, and it was the Radiant AI issue where people were programmed to do behaviours and stuff like that. But obviously, the skooma addicts would always go and get more skooma, but then they wouldn't have any money for skooma, so they would just kill the skooma dealer and take the skooma.
That's literally what I just said, Bar. I said it was Skyrim rather than Oblivion.
Yeah, but it was in
why
Oblivion.
The AI was dumbed down in Skyrim.
It was in Skyrim. I swear it was in Skyrim as well.
I mean, Radiant AI is always, or Radiant stuff in Elder Scrolls games in general has always been a bit weird for me because it feels like a quest to automate the thing that Bethesda is most famous for doing quite well. So I don't understand why they're so focused on it. I'm calm. Fair. Interesting. Thank you, Benji, Ollie. Thank you, Bolly. Gods, where were we at? Yeah, so non-Khajiit party then. You've been told that via telepathy, that the cats are going off to pursue a lead on the cart of some kind. In fact, everyone's been told that. Everyone in a very confused 300-meter radius around Dragon's Reach. What to do? Where are you going? You've surmised that you can just pay the fine, but you'll need money to pay the fine, which is a bit of an issue because you're probably looking at something. I mean, what is it? It's like 150 to 250 Gs usually for minor crimes, and you broke out of prison, so you're probably looking at somewhere in the.
Admit to the
somewhere between
first crime.
Low and high hundreds, likely around maybe the high mids. For the lot of yous.
450 each, then.
Probably not 450 each, but maybe like 600, 650 for the lot.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly less with bargaining, but I don't think Farengar is going to be very happy with.
What's the cost, the monetary cost for punching a senior wizard in the face?
He is the court wizard.
Him in the back of the head.
He is the court wizard, in fact, so he's actually one of the most senior civil servants in Whiterun. And yeah, it was the back of the head, not the face. That was hugely satisfying for me because that is not the first main character in an Elder Scrolls setting that Benji has surprise attacked in the back of the head. It usually.
I said it's Callum bringing the evil out of me.
It worked out well before.
We come out, by the way, at the south of the city.
You actually came out in the north. So.
Oh, north.
Yeah, you're if you look up, you can see the rear of Dragon's Reach up these almost unscalably rough cliffs.
I am going to walk back around to the entrance to Whiterun.
Yeah, you're just going to start trudging off, and the other two, where are you going? Arnaulf?
Sorry, I missed that.
Going to follow the crowd.
Yeah, Yuhnbric is walking back to the entrance to Whiterun, and slightly dejected, it sounds like Arnaulf is following Yuhnbric, trying to work out his personal finances. And does he really need to do archaeology in Whiterun? He could just never come to this hold again.
A few paces back, I would like to follow Arnaulf.
Okay. In that case, let's check and see Khajiit. What are y'all doing?
Guess we're slowly on our way towards the Imperial camp.
Fair. I don't think you left any stuff at the Bannered Mare, but you did pay for tonight, so if you don't use she's a reasonable lass, so maybe you could talk her into giving you the night another night, but if you go off now, then you're theoretically...
You always stay another night. What time of the day is it?
Still morning, I think, actually. You didn't spend that long in the Cloud District. It was only a couple of hours, so noon, basically, high noon.
Alright, well then I say we wait somewhere near the front gate to see if we see the party. Give them 5-10 minutes. They're not there.
But they're just backed up at Dragon Street, surely.
They're just talking to a
saying we're chasing the lead. We're not here yet.
Alright, so you sort of start winding your way down. You mount up Dio. I was going to say Winnie or Espas. I was going to say either Winnie or Nay, and it came out as Way. Winnie, Nay. As Jomo, in fact, puts the spurs a little bit to Dio to kick him into a higher gear. Nay. Trot.
You don't press the spurs in, then a horse goes, That's just not kosher.
It's a masochist horse.
God damn it. It is explicitly non-sexual. What is it with you people and horse?
You get a human face.
It also has a horse face. The human face is part of the horse face.
Have you not seen the photos? The actual photos I put in Discord?
That's not how we described it, though. If you remember, it's a full horse head, but the nose is replaced with young Nicholas's face.
It almost was like an alien, like alien, like a xenomorph. But with Nick's face.
Yeah, Nick's face at the end, I guess, and horse eyes. Because it has, like, a regular horse face apart from the nose. So...
Oh, just remembered our emojis list.
Yeah, I always think I should add more emojis. We've got nothing good. Oh, well, we've got good things, but we could have so much more. Cool. So, in the interest of expediency, then, you're kind of quietly clopping down to muttered fears and, like... God, what's the... They do the hammer for Talos, so a variety of people making various genuflections as your abomination horse trots past. You exit the town, beginning to wind your way through the Whiterun outskirts, only to very serendipitously come upon the rest of your party as they're kind of weirdly sneaking round a corner and all but run into your horse. I almost did it again. Way or Ninny? No, god damn it. What sound do horses make when surprised? Way!
Nay, but with a question mark.
Nay? And then Dio realizes that, oh no, this is who was in front. Yuhnbric. He knows Yuhnbric. And begins nuzzling. Winnie. Nay.
I am terrified and pushed.
The human tongue comes out and just licks your cheek.
Do I put my hands around, like, the nose area and just try and pull the... Because I can't push him away from the nose, because that's where the face is.
The question is, which nose?
Oh dear. I feel like I'm going to spend far too much time in Photoshop after this session.
Oh, I am terrified, fed up, did not want to punch a wizard today. And I didn't, but I got blamed for it. I punched a wizard by proxy.
Yeah, cats, what do? You've kind of unexpectedly run into the party. How the hell did they get out ahead of you? You didn't see them, and you pretty much walked, like, at a fairly slow pace straight through Whiterun out to the outskirts.
Assume they just rushed here to meet us for our cart quest.
How on earth did I get another temporal anomaly?
No, you have not. Why do you ask?
Because it does seem strange that in me walking around and them leaving, in the half hour it took us to go out, and presumably like the other half hour it takes to go around the side of the city, they hadn't left yet.
They were outside waiting and eating cheese, and also scouting.
Oh, I didn't realize they were waiting. Okay.
Yeah, they waited a fair old time for you, and you didn't come out. Plus, you ditched them, and they'd eaten an amount of cheese, and they found a lead. So, points to Khajiit.
Their day was more successful than ours.
Sorry?
Their day was more successful than ours.
So far, it's slightly after noon now. Cool, and that is, I think, a good place to leave it. So, reminders for next session.
Chasing a lead on the cart.
Chasing a lead.
I've done the crime, I'll pay the fine.
Yeah, we're petty criminals now.
I think you're slightly above petty criminals.
He's above a petty criminal.
Medium criminals.
Punched a wizard, then broke out of jail.
I mean, like, that's like some serious criminal stuff right there.
Punch a whiz, pay the biz.
We still need to get back to the companions before tomorrow.
Yeah, but again, it's one of those ones of I'll pay the fine, I'd like
a reminder for the cost of the parts needed. Again, I just want to carry across my reminders basically from last session.
I don't think you did set a specific reminder on that last session. You said you were noting it on the sheet.
Oh, I might have noted the cost, but the at least just the other reminders from last session, just carry them over about it being just trying to get
including Yuhnbric wants a quest from the Jarl at Dragon's Reach.
I mean, eventually at some point.
Mage at Dragon's Reach.
Yeah, you only really had those two, actually, Ollie. That and Yorland likes Yuhnbric, which. So, what are you asking me here? Yuhnbric wants to make money, basically.
Yeah, Yuhnbric wants to make money. Maybe I'll go to Dawnstar. I've heard there are nice stuff there.
Yeah, they don't punch people at random in Dawnstar. It's canon now. That is a Dawnstar hello.
God, I can't wait to get to Dawnstar.
I don't actually have it on the planned list of destinations for the record.
You do now. Welcome to Dawnstar. Whack.
It has to be a surprise. They only punch you in the back.
That'd be a terrifying place to walk around.
Quick, look over there!
hey, there's a dragon behind you. Oh, dead. Any other reminders for next session? I guess the Bannered Man.
We kind of owe the Dragonborn money.
You owe a lot of people money. We'll deal with it.
We owe him an undisclosed sum.
Nude. Why am I typing perfectly nude Nord? That's not what I have to fuck it.
Only on Saturdays.
And I guess the Bannered Mare has been semi-abandoned. Anything else reminders-wise? No? Cool. I can't think of anything that needs noting. I guess probably just for the sake of expediency, Whiterun has finally been alerted to Helgen. Oh dear. Cool. Feedback, anything you liked, anything you disliked, anything you'd like to see more of or less of next time.
I want to see more of Farengar.
I was trying to make
poor guy
personable, and you came to him with this credible story of, so real talk, the apocalypse is coming and we're all doomed, but keep calm, carry on.
Oh, I thought we were going to get this whole conspiracy together.
It wasn't a keep calm thing, it was, why worry? It's all good.
I think I understand where you were at, but it also didn't.
It unraveled so fast. I started off with okay, we don't want to panic anyone. And then and then I escalated it. And then Ben massively escalated it.
It's a big old Catherine wheel.
My defense mechanism. I started panicking people. Not tell people about the apocalypse.
Wait.
Until it suits us.
Guys, it's okay. All of your mums are dead.
You remember that really, really good orphanage? Toast.
Thing we were telling him was, don't worry, it's entirely probable your mother is not dead. Look at us. We all got out.
Yeah, but then it kind of escalated in him going, no, we don't, you know what? Feedback. Any other feedback?
Less wizard punching.
More wizard punching.
You know,
Yeah,
Ollie,
I
actually don't know what came over me. and again, it sounds really harsh to blame Callum, but this is what I'm like when Callum is in booking things with me.
You say I like I've played pen and paper with you before. You know, this is.
I'm not actually.
Yeah, but Creed, is it me who's the one who instigates it in that sense?
Sometimes
children who are wrong.
You're very much like.
Usually you come up with the reason first. Well, actually, sometimes you come up with the reason afterwards, but there's usually
that's
some reason for it.
You punch someone and then get really ideologically committed to something that you clearly came up with after the fact. But you do, mostly you're quite reasonable, apart from every now and then when you'll do something completely irrational.
Maybe that's what happens. You're so rational, the irrationality builds up until it's released in one giant, I'm going to punch a wizard in the back of the head first.
Occasionally I cross the young Nick divide and need to get it out of my system.
I mean, there was that time you tried to murder a priest on Christmas Day in his own church. So you do have a little bit of precedent.
Which one was that?
That was
Wizard.
That's because he set me on fire!
You're immortal, you'll get over it.
Yeah. And he kept smiting you with the power of Jesus, and you were really determined to beat him down for being more Jesus-y than you in the name of God.
For believing that he was more Jesus-y than me when I was on the
couldn't have picked
crusade.
a worse time or place.
Religion was invented.
Oh, if we ever do something in the Dark Ages, World of Darkness, I swear to God, I'm putting fecking that immortal character whose name escapes me in as an NPC, and it'll be glorious.
Hamish.
Hamish, there we go, yeah, Hamish, the irritating immortal. Walks up, gets stabbed, stands up again. Haha, what are you going to do? Stab me again? Oh, no. Cool. Any other feedback? Nope.
Good. Enjoyed the session.
Thank you. Me too. Narrative is...
Oh, I have one more bit of feedback.
Oh, yeah?
I love the fact that the Dragonborn only speaks in... I don't even know what you would call it. Text-based dialogue.
NPC dialogues, I guess.
He speaks entirely in dialogue trees.
Yeah, dialogue trees.
Yes, he speaks entirely in dialogue trees.
It sounds kind of like he's talking in the second person.
I'm doing my best to portray a perfectly ordinary Nord guy in a reasonable way, but I'm glad. It's a little bit incredibly self-indulgent at this point, but it's also a lot of fun. Do let me know if it gets too obnoxious. But good to hear that it's enjoyable. Cool. Narrative. Anything that anyone was narratively unclear on in that session? Everyone following the plot?
So?
Yep.
You fucking liars. You're derailing the plot and you damn well know it. No.
Team Khajiit isn't.
Yeah, Team Khajiit was weirdly on point that session. Navigating...
I really didn't want to be the guy to fuck it all up in the middle of the palace. I was really worried when we were talking to the Jarl.
The moment when he was like, you shouldn't legally be in this city.
Yeah,
I was like, oh shit.
I kind of low-key expected that. I was thinking of him querying you, but then was like, no, because he's got every reason to believe that his perfectly efficacious guards will have kept you out if you're not supposed to be here. Obviously, you have the correct paperwork. What are you going to do? Bluff your way past 2 sets of guards and then just walk into the palace? I have better defenses than that. No, you fucking don't, mate. Yes. Anything else that anyone was narratively unsure of? No? Cool. Okay, then let's do XP. I need to come out of CK2 quotes for... here we go.
Does anyone have the XP for last session?
170.
Thank you.
Cool. Do you all feel like you made significant plot progression that session? Of any kind?
It progressed, in a manner of
The
speaking.
people of Skyrim have now been warned that Alduin has come.
I'd say it's more we did plot regression than plot progression
Hey,
in certain aspects.
I've got a lead.
It's true. It's true.
Can Team Khajiit get the XP while these guys
Oh. Do we split the party? No, we just divide them into two rival teams with separate XP trackers.
Don't you know, you ideologically split the party.
You're not even ideologically split. I would say oops, sorry.
We are
I'm sure you were looking down on us for that robbery before, but you've no leg to stand on now.
Isn't it ideological? Because, there's, half the group is more...
It's for the Nords.
Yeah, it's kind of for the Nords and kind of, real racist. And the other half of the group is, I guess we tolerate the racists because we were forged in Dragonfire.
It's kind of
much of a choice.
split on racial lines, but not.
It's, I guess, split along regionalist lines, technically. You've got the people from elsewhere versus the people from Skyrim.
I ain't got no problem with Revere, he's a true Nord. You
Exactly.
lot.
Yeah, so let's say it's... I mean, I would even say that was pretty reasonable plot progression rather than partial, because Team Khajiit did pick up some leads. And negotiate... So there were so many ways to find the cart, for the record. That would have turned... But the way that you got it was name-dropping Tullius. If you hadn't name-dropped Tullius, he would have had no idea, and it would have been a totally useless thing to do. But Tullius trying to get into the city did happen a couple of days ago, and Balgruuf specifically refused him. So would have seen the cart when he went down to the walls to say, no, you're not getting in. So that...
I liked as well that we said that we had a qualm with an individual, not a faction, and then name dropped General Tullius as the individual.
It kind of weirdly worked, because Balgruuf is getting bombarded at the moment with people trying to get him to pick one side or another. So he was relaxed at the oh, thank Christ, it's not about the fucking civil war I'm trying to pretend isn't happening. And then it kind of was to do with that, but not in a way that he needed to give that much of a shit about. So, yeah. A combination of pretty gracefully navigated and some lucky and or good decisions made in the conversation from both of you, but Creed and Carl. Cool, which leads us into character development. Anyone feel they developed their character significantly that session?
I don't think I did.
Anyone
I
else?
don't know if I developed mine as such. Consistently being mostly quiet cat that occasionally makes demands.
I mean...
You did start up trade negotiations?
He kind of promised that there would be trade from elsewhere, and there won't. I don't think he's even a priest. He's, by default, a member of the priestly caste, but he's very clearly a travelling thief.
At this point, I'd almost go so far as to say con artist.
I mean, yeah, you're wandering around impersonating official dignitaries. The irony of it being, Farengar is supposed to be the knowledgeable one at court, so if he was there, he arguably could have called some of that into question. He probably should have...
He didn't.
Yeah, he didn't. No, he was working away. With, I get his telepathy earplugs in, because he didn't get confused.
Didn't bat an eye.
Plot holes, you say? Cool, fair. So, a lot of good role-playing, but not much in the way of character development in that session. Fair enough. Which, on to the next bit then. Excellent role-playing. Does anyone feel that anyone else role-played particularly well that session?
And Carl, I thought, did well. On the aforementioned, gets convince everyone we're official dignitaries. Of course we're allowed to be in here. The guards wouldn't have let us in if we weren't allowed to be here.
Yeah, that's fair. Creed and Carl successfully impersonate diplomats. That was an unexpected turn. I thought you were just going to go have an honest conversation with him, and then you open with a fairly audacious lie, but it's quite well thought out and makes sense and gets him to treat you with a bit more respect than he might have otherwise.
I feel like Ollie did quite well with bullshitting the wizard.
Also liked his sort of quiet complaints at all the Nords' actions. Like when
they're
looking at each other, having their eye conversation, he's just sort of like, what's going on? Like, I just wanted a quest. So it's
Yuhnbric, confused and alarmed. Fair.
I think the entirety of my experience so far can be aptly summed up in dazed and confused.
Reasonable.
Pretty much.
Anyone else? Yeah, fair. Cool. So, no, I don't do myself a template for this. It always takes marginal extra seconds, and it's surprisingly aggravating to me. So I make that out to be 140 experience points then for session number 5. And I can feel us overscoping. Because I'm not being as tight on this plot-wise as I should be. I had plans. We didn't...
And then the players happened.
Yeah, kind of. They didn't survive contact with the proverbial enemy. So, 20 points for plot progression. That's Team Khajiit picking up some leads. 0 points character development. Role-playing, but everyone's pretty much sticking within their characters at the moment. No real growth as yet, though I feel like Revere, I guess, is at least slowly boiling up to a literal boiling point of his hopes and dreams either being stymied by the people around him or turning out to be a disappointment.
He does keep getting disappointed by the old realities of freaking the Nords.
Hey. 20 points for excellent role-playing. That's Creed and Carl successfully impersonating diplomats. And Yuhnbric's confusion, alarm, and bullshitting with Farengar, plus your standard 100 general.
What was that total again, sorry?
140. Which brings us on to everyone's favourite part of the session. It's the highlights. Ollie, do you have any highlights for that session?
No, I haven't gone first in a very long time. Any highlights? The shout of we're going to search for the cart, and then just everyone just being like, okay.
Everyone is suddenly confused.
Zan'zharim broadcasts. What is? How do I summarize this, Ollie?
Tactical broadcast system.
Fair. There's a stumble relay joke in there somewhere.
The next one would be nauseating neighing.
Nauseating Nick. His name is Dio.
Disturbing Dio Dinnies.
I'm trying to do some alliteration with one of mine. Is that the right word?
Yeah, alliteration, yeah. You know what I thought was funny? It's close to illiterate, which I always thought was funny. Anyway. And last one was... It was just punching the wizard in the back. Like, the thing we shouldn't tell the populace, let me tell the populace. Yeah, punching the wizard in the back of the head, and then after that, don't tell people about the apocalypse unless you're trying to escape, trying to get out of jail.
So there's an ending to one of the Elder Scrolls games, it's Arena, the second one, where instead of picking any one of the many multiple endings that could possibly have happened, they, through some assorted bullshit in the setting, have all of the mutually contradictory endings happen at the same time.
It's Daggerfall, but yes.
Oh, sorry, Daggerfall, thank you. That was all of the possible bad endings for that encounter, which should have been mutually contradictory. But somehow, I guess short of outright murdering Farengar, say if you'd got a 1 or something and punch his head off his shoulders. Oh.
I like the first spell cast at us was by an ex-friendly wizard.
Our only friend so far, the only guy that knew us previously.
Yeah. God damn. I'm trying to figure out how you spell Farengar. Ah, there we go. There's no H.
And that's me done.
First spell is cast against party by friendly NPC. Cool. Benji, do you have any highlights for that session?
Crime, I'll pay the fine.
Do the crime, pay the fine.
Arnaulf does the crime and will pay the fine. Just as soon as he does some money to raise work, does some work to raise money for it.
You are so lucky we're not dealing with Oblivion guards.
A beautiful Skyrim legal system. You can go to Solitude and they won't give a shit. Any other highlights, Benji?
For now.
Fair. Cool. Carl, do you have any highlights for that session?
Nordlings welch on quest payment.
Nordlings welch on quest payment. It's fine. What's he going to do? Keep a log? Any other highlights?
I think that's been covered.
Fair. Creed, do you have any highlights for that session?
I spent a lot of my highlight notes trying to think of good alliteration. Cacophony of conflicting causes.
Yeah.
As close as I got for Benji and the Nord's tirade of, we shouldn't tell anyone about this. But we should tell the wizard in case it interrupts our questing. But the wizard is trying to tell people. Distressed. Let's punch him in the back of the head. The guards are coming. Better tell them about the dragon in Helgen.
Arnaulf does all possible bad reactions. Anything else?
Yuhnbric only wanted a quest.
It's like the encounter with a peanut, and Benji, you are deathly allergic to them.
Any other highlights, Creed?
That's it.
Fair. Callum, any highlights for that session?
No one in Skyrim can look south.
You don't know that. Maybe in Solitude they're always looking south going,
alright, fine. No one in Whiterun looks south.
Good to see that Rorikstead's still there. I'm glad we have this buddy system where all the cities to the north look out for the ones to the south. So did anyone, I'm sure everyone noticed the sign on the way into Whiterun that says twinned with Helgen. Dear.
The idea of Whiterun has to look north for all the ships that may be attacking, Dawnstar. But God forbid Dawnstar look north. Just it ain't happening.
Dawnstar look north.
No, Dawnstar looks south.
It's,
north, and Helgen doesn't look anywhere because it's gone.
The worst bit is Whiterun probably should be looking south a lot of the time. They're one of the cities that gets invaded the most in Skyrim, and a huge amount of those invasions come over the pass through Hell. The reason that in the game that you get caught there is you're trying to cross the mountains into Skyrim, and the pass at Helgen is one of the main passes after the main pass into Skyrim that leads to Whiterun, which controls the entire center of the province. So there's not really a good reason not to have people looking south, but I guess the guards aren't phoning it in. Cool. Any other highlights, Callum?
Helgen retirement home?
I'm just liking all the connections that are being made.
Oh, me too. It's just everyone knows everyone in Helgen.
Visit Unique Helgen.
visit Helgen.
They famously have beautifully sunny summers. It's very warm.
Well, it's warmer now.
Fun times. Any other highlights, Callum?
No, nothing comes to mind.
I'm going to be slightly congratulatory and just note down Whiterun twin with Helgen, because I like that, and that's canon now. I feel like I've missed someone. No? Cool. In that case, other highlights. So, Khajiit diplomats. That was wonderful and unexpected. The horse face, the abomination young Nicholas horse.
Oh, I've got another one.
Yeah?
Dragonborn only understands quests.
The ordinary Nord only understands quests.
No, I can't break us out. A quest, you say?
Oh, I was super happy when people didn't metagame and grab the lockpick off of him because he's transparently not got the skills right now to be able to pick locks. Cool. Yeah, no, I did like the young Nicholas horse thing. I was just going to have it be like a regular horse, but maybe with a fucked up saber-tooth face, and it's somehow so much worse with a human face instead of a nose. I feel like I'm missing one major highlight that I wanted to include, but I can't for the life of me remember what it's called. What was? Oh, yeah, no, I know. It's Arnaulf trying to avoid capture by giving the guards an existential, not even an existential crisis, by relaying potentially bad news to the guards. I'm not quite sure how to get that into a sentence, though.
But the way that you phrased it as well, to make it sound like you were threatening all of their mothers.
I know your mams live in Helgen, you sons of bitches.
Maybe just put that then. Put that down. I know your mams live in Helgen, you sons of bitches.
I can put that down as well.
See, I can do it one better, is Benji goes full Solstheim.
Yeah, but no one's going to get that reference. The only people who played that...
Two of you will get that reference.
Yeah, it's me and Callum.
I do believe I've heard stories of that.
Yeah,
but not that particular
you
instance.
definitely have. It's one of my favourite P&P stories. That's the previous big Benji attack someone from behind in the back of the head, where I had like a Long John Silver character set up, and he was going to be the big evil twist guy.
And then I shanked him, I hit him from behind with a bottle.
Yeah, he was running a shop, and out of nowhere, whilst he's talking to Callum's character, Benji bottles him in the back of the head, crits the roll, actually kills him, in fact, because I'm very young and didn't really know how to cope with the situation as a GM at the time. And I think it was one of the first times I ever fudged something to be like, well, he can't die, he's plot critical. They've failed the main quest at this point. So he just about survived, and they left him bleeding
under a tarp
in the corner of his shop, because no one will find him there. This shop, which was, for the record, in the middle of an imperial fort, so it's filled with nothing but
the only shop.
He was the only shop, and I don't think he even stole much. So yeah,
I remember that ended.
Ooh, sorry.
That ended with a hostage situation as well.
It did. The setup there was you had multiple overlapping conspiracies. There were 3 conspiracies. You only had to find one of them in order to win, basically, because you were reporting back to the East Empire Company, as I recall. Like, any one conspiracy would get you a victory. The more you got, the better. But it was supposed to be almost impossible to lose. Not only did the main bad guy wind up getting away with all of the conspiracies without a single one getting uncovered, but yeah, you wound up taking someone hostage in Raven Rock, and yeah, I think, was it a party wipe, or did you get taken to prison? I don't remember what happened. I just remember the hostage situation.
I got taken to prison.
It was the mayor, in fact.
I thought we just disappeared off into the wilds of Solstheim.
Yeah, we might have done. We didn't die.
Ran off to die.
I think we just fucked off to the wilderness.
Oh, damn it. So, yes, highlight things. So, I know your mams live in Helgen, and Arnaulf tries to evade
imprisonment with bad news. Yes. Oh, Jesus Christ. Cool. Thank you all for a very entertaining session number 5. Next time we will probably be doing the suspect encampment thing, and I need to figure out some way to throw money-making opportunities at y'all, because you've been slowly going broke just affording places to stay, and now you've got a heavy punitive fine to pay.
Heyo.
So I will sell my axe, which is
Maybe
worth
I'll
lots
just
of money.
talk to the wizard and I'll be like, "Hey, can I work off my fine under you, please?"
Don't think he was going to want to work with you.
I did nothing. I defended him. I
Yeah.
was pro-wizard, anti-punching.
Would you say the whole thing would be about 650 drakes?
We'll call it 650, yeah.
Yeah, I can always sell my shield and pay.
My shield's actually worth half as much as yours.
Yeah, I bought a really nice shield, but I may need to sell it for money.
Then peer back at the court, try and talk the Jarl into giving you a quest with a really sulky Arnaulf off to the side.
Damn it. I saw a moth fly in my escape.
Oh no. But yeah, you don't necessarily have to sell your shield, Benji. I'm sure we can work out some other way to potentially feed your money. And you do have the advantage of it being Skyrim, so since Arnaulf was your main contact in Whiterun Hold anyway, you could just not go to Whiterun much after this. They don't have extradition. Cool. I will see everybody next week for plot progression and fine paying and quest giving and a very confused young Nicholas. Yeah.
As a heads up, I won't be here next week. I'll be moving to a new flat, and I won't get internet until next Wednesday.
That's fair.
Yeah.
If we have young Nicholas back, then we'll just swap places, and Dio will go back to being Thumbs Dio. So does anyone have any? Any final words for the recording then?
Cut that.